Hey guys, sorry about that. So my mum was in the room. So it's New Year's Eve. So this is like my New Year's Eve video, even though it's a follow-up from the rest of the videos I've been doing, which I'm kind of scheduling so they get uploaded every day. So I don't have to do it manually. I've been scheduling them. I guess this is how other YouTubers do it. I've never scheduled videos before. I figured I'd give it a go. And as I had a few lined up, I thought I would do so. I know that these aren't as, the most popular of my videos and live streams, my art ones, but oh well. It's not like I'm trying to really make this predominantly an art channel, because I've already got kind of an art channel. But it's where I don't really show myself or anything. It's just literally just, recorded with OBS. So it's a screen recording and of me sort of colouring them in and stuff. So I want to make this more interesting channel where you can see me and, sort of interact. I like this to be an interactive channel. So I want this channel to be about more than just my art. I want it to be about a variety of interesting things, like me showing off my outfits, and talking about various subjects, and things that happen in my life, kind of like a vlog. So this today and yesterday alone, I've already thought of several subjects I want to talk about in videos or live streams, but alas, I'm not ready to start doing that yet, because there's a few reasons really. It's Christmas still, as in the 12 days of Christmas. And I've been pretty much just staying in my nightwear the whole time, not really doing my makeup. I've looked like hell. I've not even washed my hair. I washed my hair last night, so it's all nice and fluffy. But my face looks like hell because I've not been using steroid cream, because I've been already applying it for about 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks because of Christmas. I didn't really time it very well. I should really have stopped the week before Christmas and then started a week before Christmas, if that makes sense. Sorry, 2 weeks I should have stopped, and then the week before Christmas I should have started again. But instead I forgot to do that, and I ended up just continuing to... I'd already been wearing steroid cream for 2 weeks, and then I had to do it for another few days of Christmas. So I've had to have a break now, so my face looks like hell. I've just started using it again today. So I've had like a few days, probably 4 or 5 day break. I know you're supposed to have a week's break, but I can't last that long because my face just goes really horrendously bad in only a few days. I've stopped using it, so I can't really go without it for too long. I hate that because I hate to rely on things like steroid cream. But, there's nothing else I can do. There's no other way to keep my eczema under control anymore. It used to be food that caused it to be bad at one time. So all I had to do was not eat certain things and my eczema would be manageable. But now it's environmental, and as you know, we got mold and damp that we can't get rid of, so I've got to live with that. And of course, dust and pet hair and dander and stuff. It's actually not animal hair that causes problems. It's actually their dander that causes allergies. Loads of people have always thought it was the hair, but it's not the hair, it's their skin basically. Their flakes, their skin flakes that cause allergies. I never knew that. I've just recently sort of found that out. So I'm pretty much permanently on antihistamines now and steroid cream. I've avoided antihistamines for quite a while now because of my reaction to them in the past. I'll tell you about my reaction. I know it's not what the video's about, but I figured, well, I might as well talk about various things while I'm also drawing, because there's not really much to say about this, as I've already discussed the comic to you guys so far. So there's not really much to say about this, apart from the obvious that she's now holding a suitcase, because he's like, you know, he expects everything to be done for him, because he's a spoilt brat after all. But being the sun god is kind of entitled to be. You know, Jeremiah looks so cute. I have a lot to talk about, so I figured I'd talk about it while I'm doing my art. It's a shame I'm not live streaming. But live streaming just means I'd have to show myself, and I'm really not up for being seen right now because I just don't look my best. I probably don't look as bad as I think, but you know, I'd rather be seen when I'm looking my best, when I've got my clothes on, I'm not in my nightwear, when my face is nice and clear. I mean, I suppose I could still do a live stream but not show myself. I have no idea what I'm doing here, honestly. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know what these fancy things look like that you can actually have around your windows. I'm just like, can't be bothered looking up. One of these days I'm going to look up things and then draw them for reference. I like to draw from memory, so I don't really bother referring to pictures, but I probably, for some things, I really should. For things I'm not sure about. But I also like to use my imagination, and even if nobody else's house in the world looks like this, it doesn't matter. This is my version of a house. In this universe, this is what houses look like. This is what fancy things around windows look like, you know. It's kind of like my interpretation of stuff in this particular universe, so I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. So even if it doesn't look like a traditional house or decoration, doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'm just going to check on the chips. I'm just going to continue talking, so I figured I would just keep it going. Yep, they're still doing their thing. I'm just going to leave them doing their thing for a few minutes more. Okay, so what was I saying? I don't know. I've forgotten what I was going to talk about now. Oh yes, my reaction to antihistamines. Okay, so I do believe other people get these reactions because I have just recently seen it on the leaflet that says about side effects. Oh, that's brilliant. It is very close to me. I could probably, you know, put it further away, but it's kind of really hard to unbend. Anyway, so I've not bothered with antihistamines for all these years because I find that when I'm on them, I'm super happy, I'm super upbeat, I have all these ideas, but I also become overwhelmed, irritable. I mean, I really lashed out that time when I was on them. You know, breaking things, throwing things and breaking things. I just didn't want to be like that again. But when I came off them, obviously I got withdrawal symptoms and I became depressed for a while, which at the time I didn't associate with coming off the antihistamines because I didn't know that would happen. Because it was my first time taking any kind of medication like that. I didn't even associate the happiness or the excitedness and all the, you know, my brain just functioned better. I had a better memory. I remembered things better. Like if I had a list of things to take with us when we went out shopping, I remembered them all. And I remember I said this to my mum at the time, and she just said it's called, you know, growing up, like becoming a grown-up. She thought that, you know, we both thought that I had just improved because I had, you know, I was older and, you know, my brain had developed more and I was now thinking like a grown-up. But it turns out it was just the antihistamines, because I noticed when I was on them, It was just like, became really intelligent and really enthusiastic and really ambitious. And like I say, I got all these ideas and I was that excited about everything. Kind of, I actually feel that way right now, to be honest. And I'm not on anything. Nope, I've not had caffeine for the past week since Christmas. I've not had antihistamine for a week now. And I actually feel really great, like mentally really great. Physically I feel pretty good as well. But I am on a really heavy period, so, you know, I feel a bit rough because of that, but not too bad actually. But mood-wise I feel pretty good. So I don't know what that's due to. So now I'm having the opposite thing, coming off antihistamine and caffeine and feeling better than ever. I was starting to feel a little bit more like down. Not all the time, but just like just a tiny bit. Like really, just a little bit. Only, like I say, very slightly, nothing severe. Not as bad as the first time I came off antihistamine and got the depression type thing. Oh. And that was while on it, so I guess, well, I don't know. Probably the first few days it was probably a withdrawal symptom, but now I'm kind of, I guess caffeine is out of my system properly now, and I've got over the withdrawal symptoms. So the good thing about the antihistamine, which was hydroxyzine that I was on back in 2016, was the improved memory, the improved brain, overall performance. And, you know, I think I was probably getting up earlier as well. I was actually, because I remember reading my diary from that year, and I was actually getting up earlier during that time, about, for me this is earlier, but like 10, 11 o'clock. And ever since not being on it, I just went back to sort of, like I say, you know, when the depression part wore off, back to normal for me is just feeling sort of okay, you know, pretty good, like a neutral sort of feeling, not like ultra happy, ultra sort of ambitious or excited about things, but not like down or depressed or unhappy or whatever. Just sort of a neutral mood really, but pretty good. Stable, I'd say. Stable. Oh, I need to take these out. Sorry about not doing anything on camera, guys, but I've just been talking. Oh shoot. Got no tissue things to put the chips on top of. So awful in here. I really need to get these chips out, but I'm not prepared. Turn that off. God, that's terrifying. That noise. Should cool down in a minute. I've just turned it off. Anyway, so I'm not really sure what's best really, whether it being not on them is best or being on them is best. But I suppose I am assuming that if I was to be on an antihistamine permanently, like these tablets and hydroxyzine, I'm presuming it would wear off, like it has with this one, because I've had the exact same reaction with the anti-allergy syrup that I've been on, which is to have like this immense enthusiasm but also feel really overwhelmed. But this was when I was taking it every day, and then I was just like super happy and super excited and getting all these ideas and stuff like that. But instead I just stopped taking it like I did the other one. I sort of gradually took it less and less. But I mean, I can't stop taking it altogether because I'm still having allergy problems. At the moment, it's not been so bad. With this particular one, which is called Piriton, the other one is Boot Zone, but this one's called Piriton. It's the same antihistamine, but different brand. I've noticed with this one, it keeps me drowsy for several days. The other one kind of wore off the very next day, but this one seems to stay in my system for several days. I have noticed, and I've felt muscle weakness, which is what it says on the list of side effects, is muscle weakness. So I have had that, and I've been like sleeping later and later every day. I've tried my hardest to not sleep so late, but I just really can't be arsed getting up, which doesn't sound very good, but you know, I really just can't be bothered. I'm comfortable, I'm tired. But yet, when I've actually gotten up, I've not felt that bad. But I've noticed that the later I sleep, the more I feel great when I do get up. So the later I sleep in, the more great I feel. So for the past few days, I've been getting up kind of late, like 3 o'clock. Today was the latest at 4 o'clock. But before that, it was 2 o'clock. And I just feel so great. Apart from being on a period and being just very slightly crampy, I do actually feel pretty good overall. Like, I don't feel tired. I don't feel ill or crappy or anything like that. And, you know, I kind of feel energized as much as you can feel. Let's date it then. So I can say, well, I've been doing art up until the very last day of the year. So I've been proud of myself because I've been doing art every day. Like, there was a time when I actually went like probably a whole year without picking up a pen. I never want to get to that point ever again. Anyway, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to start again and I'll continue